guys, welcome to Not My Usual Read, a book exchange podcast where we read each other's books and talk about it. This is Charlie.
You're not Charlie, I'm Charlie.
This is Jenny, and that's Charlie.
Yes, okay.
So before we get started, we could go ahead and tell everybody our how our week was.
Yeah, for the few listeners we have out there, we are about a week late on this one, but it was the holidays. I think we were a bit ambitious, thinking we could finish our books and do an episode.
Yes.
We had a lot of traveling. It was also my birthday this week, so
Yes, happy
Thanksgiving,
birthday.
my birthday. And then the weekend before we did, Thanksgiving at my family's, because we usually split it between us.
Yes.
So it was just like something every other day, basically.
It was so busy. It was a good week, but it was so busy. And trying to we did audio. You listened to the audiobook for some parts, and I would love to hear your opinion on going back and forth between the audiobook and then the actual physical book of Fourth Wing. But I was just reading in the car, trying to block out your audiobook, trying
Right.
not to get car sick.
Right.
And we still didn't really accomplish our timeline. But it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, we still made it. It's the holidays. It's probably going to happen on Christmas week.
Yeah, I
So,
didn't want it to feel like homework, though. So I'm glad that we kind of gave ourselves some grace. Anyways.
Though I will say the other night I did read till 2 a.m. trying to finish. I read 100-something pages.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, gosh, I'm so glad that you read all of that in one chunk, though, because that's when so much happens.
Yeah, you kind of have to. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Because I was I'll just stop. And then I'm well, no, I have 20 pages left. I'll just finish,
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, did you like the book? I don't want you to tell too much details until the end, but did you like the book?
I did like it. I will say, minus the battle at the end, I kind of liked the second half less.
Really?
Yeah, just because after they had sex, it was every single time she saw him, it was just oh my god, his tongue in my mouth, and his skin was. I'm oh my god, okay.
All right, fine.
I get it, Jesus.
God, you're horny. Yeah.
Yeah, every time he came up, oh, that skin was just on my skin. I'm you don't need to just be normal.
Just be normal.
Yeah.
You're just two human beings. I mean,
good
it's
Lord.
the honeymoon stage. They just did it. So it was this magical moment of attraction. Anyways,
Yeah.
I get it. But the actual battle itself at the end was awesome.
Yeah, and some other stuff happened in between, which I don't know if you want to get into that.
Well, yeah,
now,
we'll wait. But
yeah.
things
And
were
what about-
revealed, and that's what I was so excited for you to read finally, because I was trying to hold it in this secret.
What about you? Did you like the second half?
I did, but I did. I liked the ending. I'm glad that they did what they did. I just think some of the things, all of the multitude of versions of him, I wasn't a huge fan of that part. I was just what? I was so confused at first.
Wait, what?
Well, 100 other versions of him that were all in the same kind of timeline. They all had the same experience. It was just really sad that they all couldn't get the one person. And then I was just it opened up a door of possibilities I was not fully comfortable with, because I was okay, so every time that they go into this box, there's another version of them that has a different outcome. It just got really clustered, But I liked the way that they resolved it. I wasn't a big fan of that part. I thought it was clever, and it made me think about the multiverse in an even broader, magnified way. But I also was just it's a little too much, because it felt like all these loose strings that you couldn't tie into a nice bow. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I
I
think
get
that
that.
that's fair. I think it's okay for authors to do that. I'm not used to it, so I was just a little bit put off by it, the sadness of all these characters not having a resolution.
Yeah, I mean, movies do that too, and I think it's kind of cheap.
Yeah, it's just
Just be you decide what the ending is. Well, that's not.
Yeah, it's
I
just
put this so much time into this.
right, it's just give me a freaking
Yeah, through line.
period at the end of this sentence, you know? Anyways, that was my only, but I thought that it was like really clever. I liked the way it like was introspective and like made me think about like choices and life and the door unopened. I thought that was clever. And like very, it made me think. So I thought that was cool. Like, not that my books don't, but like, I mean, I guess they kind of don't. They're more distracting of like my own world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's like the episode of Broad City we watched last night, FOMO.
Yeah.
You keep opening doors, trying to find that 10.
Trying to find
You might
that
have just
party.
left the 10 and gone to a 2, and now you're stuck there.
I know.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh my gosh, that's so true.
Boom.
If you have not seen Broad City, you should check
full
out the show.
Yeah.
If you
Nothing to
haven't
do
seen
with
it.
time travel, but
It does not have, but they were in search for the best party, a 10,
yeah.
if you will.
Yeah.
And they kept leaving the current party they were at to go find a better one.
Yeah.
So now you know what we're talking about. Anyways, okay. So I'm gonna start with your questions, and I'm hoping there's not a repeat of last week. So last week, the part that you left off at was whenever Violet was getting attacked, right?
Yeah, and she basically like froze time with Andarna's power.
Yes. Okay. And she was like mid-frozen time when we started that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's
episode.
where I left off.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me scroll down to our next set of questions for you. All right. So we're going to start with one I didn't ask you last week. Doesn't really relate to like the time frame, but what do you think of General Sorrengail? Why do you think General Sorrengail made Violet join the Writers' Quadrant? And then do you think that she's going to consistently be this heartless, or do you think that their relationship will get better or worse by the end of the series?
Yeah, I definitely think she still is heartless. I don't think it was any other motive except for herself. Like, she wanted, everyone were riders except for the husband, like all her kids, and I think it's just to be like, save face.
You think it was like
to like look strong.
Yeah, okay. I mean, because she does, like, I think that you don't think she was maybe trying to protect Violet because as a scribe she would find out? Like, do you think that's part of
about
it?
like what happened? Oh, no, well, no, because that's all erased, right? There's nothing in there except for the book her dad gave her. She thought it was like a fairy tale book.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Which also, that's another question. Like, the fact that her dad gave her that, the fact that her dad
maybe
knew.
her dad was. I don't, because her dad's dead, but they never talked about that. Maybe he was murdered.
Yeah, they still, I still don't know that information. I don't want to give away book 2.
Which, like, we didn't talk about that, but yeah, so, like, she had this book about, like, Venin and Wyvern, which are supposedly these, like, fables of, like, kind of how, like, children's fairy tales of, like, go to sleep, or this thing's gonna get you from, you know. And then at the end of the book, you find out that that's all real.
Yeah. Which, another thing, like, I mean, it was kind of telling, too, because this is one of her favorite books from when she was a kid. It's a very, like, you know, nostalgic book.
I didn't see it coming. I mean, it was a pretty big twist. I didn't see that part.
No, I know. Okay, so which of the challenges, I feel like I gave you that one. Hold on.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Okay, why do you think Navarre is still holding on to the deception of how and why they were really under threat?
I don't know, because it seems, I mean, I guess because it's way more terrifying. The Venin are, like, so strong.
Yeah, but it's also
And you
just
can
like...
just, like, hey, the Griffins are bad. But, yeah, like, I don't know why, because you could just tell people, and then
Yeah.
they'd be more prepared. Like, maybe they could start learning how to combat the Venin better.
I know, right? It's like, okay, we're going to send all these people into battle.
Well, yeah, you could, like, make arrows with the ward tips instead of having to get, like, up close with a dagger. Like, you could do all these different things.
Yeah, I
don't know why.
I think it's because of maybe control. I don't know. I still don't know. I mean, I feel like that's it. Is like they're in their bubble and they want people to like live their life. But yeah. Okay, so you think that it's stupid that they do that? I kind of agree. I mean, obviously
they don't tell people. Yeah, I don't get.
Okay, so
and maybe it'll come out in book 2 or book 3, but like, yeah, I don't really.
So, with that being said, do you think Xaden was justified in keeping his secret from Violet about
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I thought she was being very childish, being like, "I can't trust you anymore." It's like, well, this is like the biggest secret in the world. That'd be like us today finding out like the Earth is flat, and the guy like, of course you have to keep that secret.
Well, yeah.
Like it's huge news. It's because like the Griffins are innocent. They're actually like trying to combat the Venom as well.
Well, and they're like aiding them.
Well, and he has all the relic. I think they call it like the relic bearers. That he has to take care of. Like if any of them step out of line or do anything, they all get killed. So like of course he has to
Well, and do you
keep
think
this
that
a secret.
knowing all of this, I mean, it really, I honestly really like a book where it's like all this deception like flips the villain and the like victor, I guess. You know, because who we thought were like the bad guys I think it does justify it. Because like whenever they're, I mean, I don't want to give anything away because I feel like I forgot that the book ends in such like a precipice of like, well, you still don't know everything, and you know,
and they're basically just like out of the bounds of the wards now.
Yeah, I don't want to.
But that's another question I have too, because like they're at Montserrat, and is that why Zayden makes her leave? Because she's like, we leave, and the Griffins swarm.
Yeah.
But like they were actually fighting, so Mira knows too. Then doesn't she?
No, because I don't think that
were they being attacked by Venom, or were they being
Venom
attacked
can't
by
get in through
Griffins?
the wards. Mira
but the
is
wards
a
went
ward.
down.
But Mira is a ward. I don't know.
So then the Griffins are bad? Like then I don't understand.
No, the Griffins. Well, the Griffins have their agenda of they're going to attack. They're going to protect their people, and the Navarians. Not Navarians. Besgaeth people. Mm-hmm. Is it Navarre?
Yeah, they're in Navarre. Yeah.
Navarians. They have basically closed their like door. Or, like their wards have shut out all these people that are outside of them. So they've just kind of like left all of those people just high and dry. So because of that, that's why they steal like their weapons. Like, they've denied them aid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you just talked about the questions that you still have. What other burning questions do you have? Like, for example, why is the intrinsic mind reading such a death sentence? Which I think that...
Well, yeah, now you know why. Yeah.
Now you know.
Because the higher-ups have to know. Like, that's why they're not doing battle reports. The mom had one of the Venom daggers on her desk.
Yeah.
So, like, she knows. Like, everybody knows.
Yeah. Did the Venom daggers glow? We just were watching Lord of the Rings, and I feel like...
I don't think they glow.
No, but it made me think
like
of...
Sting with the orcs.
Yeah, it made me think of that.
Yeah.
Okay, what were the Venoms looking for in the village? Do all the dragons know about Venom?
It didn't say what they were looking for. No, because they all get killed. I don't think it's what they're looking for. At least if it did, I don't remember. But
do you have any other questions though? I mean, it did leave you at a bit of a cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah, I mean, not really. Like, I think the Venom are just trying to get there probably because Navarre is like super like, because that's where the dragons are from. So it's probably like super rich magic they can like pull from. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're like billionaires. They just want more and more money, but they just want more and more power. So they're just trying to like, they've probably like drained all the outlying lands, and they just like want to keep going to get more and more.
That makes sense. I agree with that. Okay, cool. All right. So would you like to read the next book? And what are your theories? Like, will they go back to Besgaeth, or do you think that they're going to be...
I don't know. That's what I was asking yesterday, because I was like, well, they can't go back to school now because they all know. But then it's like, well, then if they don't, and they just like, you know, then they're going to know that they know. And they're probably going to get like killed, you know?
Yeah, I mean, they're really cutthroat.
Yeah, so like, I think, I mean, it's just the relic people that know. So like now it's just Violet. I mean, she knows Brennan's alive still, which is crazy. But like, they're probably just going to go back to school and like...
But the relic people always kind of knew.
But even then, like so that was part of the war games. So like, I don't know. I wish they explained that better, because like Dane and his dad, who are both, you know, assholes. Like Dane's basically been like reading Violet's mind. That's how he figured it out.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think he fully knows. I think he just thinks he's a traitor. and maybe the dad doesn't know, like Colonel Sorengale. Maybe he, or not Sorengale,
Atos.
Atos. Maybe he doesn't know. He's just like, oh, they're traitors. Just send him there, and they're gonna get bombarded by griffins.
Yeah, do you think that Dane knew?
About the venom?
No, do you think that Dane knew that in telling his father about what he saw in whenever he touched her cheek, do you think that he knew his dad would send her off to be killed?
Well, the dad didn't send her there.
But
Xaden was like, you're coming with me because we can't be apart.
Yeah.
She was going to be somewhere else, but it was a 5-day war game, and he's like, we can't be apart for more than a couple of days. So
but do you think that Dane
me.
knew that his dad was sending Xaden to his death?
Yeah, because he was like, you're going to get killed. Yeah. He's going to get you killed. And that's why.
Okay.
He said all that.
So, you don't think that they're going to return to Basgiath, or if they do, you're not really sure how they're going to resolve that?
I don't know. I mean, they either stay in Artria, whatever it's called, and I don't know, build an army, I guess.
Yeah.
Which they probably could. They have all the griffins, and they have 100 relics but they'd all have to fly down there with all their dragons.
Yeah.
And Xaden and Violet are probably the two strongest.
I think that
riders with the strongest dragons.
Yeah, I mean that's an edge.
And Andarna. Well, she can't stop time anymore.
I was gonna say, do you think that Andarna is gonna be able to give Violet a new signet power?
Duh.
What do you think it might be?
I don't know.
I mean,
no one's ever done a Feathertail, right? So who knows?
Yeah. Okay, so do you also think that it's gonna be revealed in book 2, more about Violet's dad's death, and if it was more than what it seemed?
Think he found out, and I think the mom killed him. That's what I think.
You think the mom killed him?
I think I think she's super stone cold. I think he stumbled upon
it.
They probably had some
horrible.
Oh yeah.
Okay, got it.
Which she probably isn't, because you're smiling.
No, I mean, I truly, it makes me think of, I mean, that's not a good example. I was going to say, it's like Severus Snape. It's not, she's not that golden hearted. Snape he wasn't perfect, but he had his ulterior motives, Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to tell you too much. I do not think I don't think that she killed him, but I don't know. It wasn't revealed to me, so I'm going to say I don't think that that's true, but I do. I think
he found some shit out, and
you think
it was the consensus. Maybe she didn't, but she went along with it, where they were she was send him away, you do it, and they're no, we have to kill him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I mean, okay. All right. Why do you think this book was so hyped? Did it live up to your expectations?
I mean, I had pretty low expectations, if I'm not going to lie. I do think it was better. I do think the second half is better than the first half. I mean, it's all pretty exciting and pretty fast. No, that's what I'm going to get to. It just got annoying, every time they saw each other. You know what I mean?
The steam.
Yeah, it's okay, you don't have to force it in. We get it. They fucking just had sex. Okay.
But because she's so angry with him now at the ending,
which I still think is stupid.
I know you do, but now you're gonna have a massive reprieve, I think, at the beginning of book 2.
Because they made up in the end.
Did they?
Yeah. Yeah, Xaden said some heartwarming shit, and then.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe she's still kind of mad, but
yeah, I guess we'll see.
It's not that I need a reprieve. I don't mind the sex scenes. It's just the over
the longing look.
Yeah, every time after, oh gods, I can't do anything when he looks at me like that.
Yes.
Yeah. It's every other page.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there he is, and he looks incredible in those letters.
It's been funny whenever you're in between chapters and you you'll say something from the book, and I'm just stop it. Don't ruin it for me. I know it's dramatic.
But but the ending battle was good, which is the last 100 pages.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Liam. It's pretty sad.
So you had low expectations, and it went above and beyond your expectations that were low.
Yeah, I mean,
Mediocre or like pretty good? Did you like it?
it's pretty good. I'd probably give it like a. What was a 4? A 4 would be like an 80. I'd probably do 3.8, like a 78%.
All right.
Maybe a 4.
Nice.
78 to 80, I would say.
Okay. Nice.
It's good. I probably would have, like, but at the beginning, I'm like, this book's going to suck. It's probably going to be like a 2, you know?
Well, I'm glad that your opinion
Yeah.
changed, and that makes me happy.
Yeah.
So you are willing to read book 2? You
Yeah.
have to find out what happens.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we're doing the buddy book before that.
Yeah,
and
it's
maybe
gonna be
the
a minute.
Christmas book. We haven't decided yet, but
Yes, but
I'll
you will
definitely
at
read it.
some point read. Yes. Okay, good. Because Onyx Storm is coming out in
I'll
January.
give it one more. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if I want to
Yeah.
finish. Is it a trilogy? Is it only 3 years?
I
She's
don't
gonna keep
know.
milking this.
I don't know. Because there's some series that are like freaking
Yeah, I'm not
8
reading.
books.
I'm definitely not reading 20 books.
No, it's not that big of a deal, but it's like 6 or 7. Okay. That is the end of yours. I love it. Okay. I'm so glad to hear that you liked it. And are you ready to ask me some questions about my last half?
Yes, sorry. We're recording in our living room. My cat is bumping the boom arm. Or our cat, not my cat.
Lucille.
I mean, she is my cat. She likes me more. But. So, hold on. She has to go because
Cut.
she purrs very loud. Okay. So, many of the decisions in Dark Matter center around the notion of career and family. If you had to choose, would you rather live Jason 1 or Jason 2's life?
Okay. I think I would choose Jason 1. I know that's like, it's kind of like the everybody would answer it that way kind of thing, but maybe not. I think that a life without like love and people that like make you feel at home, like a life without a warmth and like love and multiple people that are in your corner would just suck. Also, I think that Jason 2 got to be Jason 2 because he used a lot of his like, he was a bit more cold and decisive, and I don't think I would ever, I don't think I could be like that. So I think Jason 2, I would choose family and career, or family over career. You know? That's my...
Yeah, I think I probably would as well.
Yeah.
Another part of me is like, well, I mean, I can just find another chick. Yeah, but
Well, like, he doesn't, though.
yeah.
Like,
But did he try that hard? I mean,
I know.
he made this and he's like, well, no, I need Daniela.
I know. It seems a little bit of a stretch. Like,
Yeah,
just
right.
that
Like, there's
part.
no other woman.
Right. Also, what's wrong with your Daniela? Well, she's now too dedicated for you. That seems like a match. And like whenever, that's what I kept thinking about whenever I was like, when Jason 1 got pushed back into Jason 2's world, where like he's this like successful person that created the box. I think like whenever he finds Daniela and she's like achieved her like dream of becoming this amazing artist, and they like link up and they get together, I'm like, she would have taken him back. She did take him back.
Yeah.
So it's just like, why didn't Jason 2 just do this from the jump?
He's greedy.
It was because he wanted the son, I guess. But it's like, make your own kid. I don't know.
Yeah, adopt a kid.
When it's like, it's selfish, freaking guy.
All right. So without Amanda, Jason 1 might not have survived. What do you think of her decision to leave him? And how do you feel about their relationship in the end?
Okay. I thought, so there was a couple of times when they got really like close because they were the only two in the same situation, you know? Mm-hmm. There was multiple situations where I was like, oh, they're about to kiss. And I was like, please don't do it.
Ooh.
Or like they're about to, have sex. But Jason, I think that Amanda as like this therapist was like really invested in like she already knew so much about like his actual life because she was Jason 2's therapist, which I think that that's kind of funny that she had all that prior knowledge. I think that she made the right choice to leave him because she had basically said in the letter that she left him that she thinks that it's the two of their conscious decisions as they open the door that is what's holding him back. She's also like talked about
Right, so the box is kind of like clouding both of their
it's like a
thoughts together.
well, yeah, exactly, because like even though he's writing everything down, she personally felt like she could possibly be holding him back.
Right.
I also thought it was a good idea just because, I mean, on the one hand, I was like, it'd be nice if Amanda was in this or his original world, because then she would know someone.
Yeah,
because now she's like isolated herself.
That's what I was gonna say. So is she at least in a good world? She wasn't like post-apocalyptic, like see you later.
I mean, she had half the ampoules or whatever the heck you.
Oh, so she's just gonna find her own box.
Yeah, but and that's where I'm like, there's probably like 100 Amandas just out there with different realities.
Same
Same problem.
I don't know, maybe not. I mean, I don't think they're as like because.
Well, they're not as on a quest.
Well, the Jason knows, yeah, like.
Yeah, but
she's probably the only one that knows about the box. Wouldn't you think?
What do you mean?
Amanda.
Like she knows? Yeah, well, she knows about the box because she like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The other ones probably don't.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right. Okay, so basically, though, one of my favorite worlds was one that she picked. After the ice storm, she was like, I just want to go somewhere good. Like, I want to go to like the best possible place. And it was this like super futuristic world, like where everything was like, it was very, what's that movie where like everybody's like there's like spaceships in the sky. It was like really spacey.
The utopia.
Yeah, it was very utopian, but like futuristic. And I feel like if she was gonna go anywhere, I think she probably went back to there.
Hell yeah.
But I thought it was a good choice. However, I think that Jason did not take advantage of her advice. In like he was just kind of a, I don't want to say, he was kind of a bitch after she left. He like totally kind of gave up, and for a minute there, I was like, is he just gonna die? Because the very first world he went into after she left, he got mugged, and all of his ampoules except for one got broken. And he just like was homeless for like 2 weeks. And he almost killed another Jason. Like it was just like he did not heed her advice until he like hit rock bottom. And then he finally like took her advice of being more emotional with his projection of what he wanted to open the door, you know? Mm-hmm. So, anyways, that is my answer. I think that without Amanda leaving, I don't think he would have found his
the
Daniela.
proper one. All right. So Blake Crouch, he's got different writing tricks, techniques. It is quite the page turner. Do you find his writing style effective?
I liked it. I was not expecting to be able to sink into it as quickly as I did. I think we talked about that last time. He just jumped right in. I did think that some parts of it were like repetitive. I mean, obviously, because it's like realm after realm after realm or world after world. And there were certain parts where I'm like, I wouldn't have made that choice, but I'm also not the author. So I did like his writing style. There was some parts where I was just like, get to it. You know? Yeah.
Well, I don't remember if that's his first book or not. It's one of his earlier books, I do think, but might not be.
Yeah. So. Yeah. No, I liked it a lot.
He has a lot of those like kind of sci-fi.
When we talked about
books,
it, I think at the beginning, I didn't like the way it was a little bit lazy towards the end. It was just kind of like, and I think on the back of the book, in the back of the book, there's a interview with him, and it talks about how he struggled to finish this book.
I think most authors do.
Yeah.
It's just how do you end, especially a one-off book. It's like
yes, it's a one-off, which is like
something.
That's another thing. I have not read so very many just like plain one book novels, and or it's been a while. So I did enjoy that it all like fully encompassed the whole story, and then boom, it's done. But it left it with like an open-ended kind of ending, and I felt like all of the extra Jasons were a little unnecessary, and I was like, what about their path? And then in my head, I like started to think about a storyline for them because he didn't give me one. And I was in their little chat room that they had whenever they first, I don't know why he like just magically thought to log into this chat room, by the way. That part also was just like,
Right.
Really? Okay, that makes sense. Like, whatever. Anyway, so at that part, he was talking in this like online chat room with all these other versions of himself. And basically, one of them was like, we should take over the world. Because it's like 100 of them. And I was like, I wonder if that's what happened to all the other Jasons that didn't have Daniela and Charlie anymore after they left.
That'd be a good idea.
Anyways, I thought that he was a good author. I thought that it was an easy read. And I wasn't expecting it to be an easy read.
Well, I mean, continue with that. What was your, favorite and least favorite elements of the novel?
I just think that the multitude of the Jasons, I think that
To be a bit too much.
it was just too many. Like,
Yeah.
did we need over 100? No. I think if you had like a solid 30, that would make it more like okay, it makes it more possible that they just die off.
Right. Well, it's probably harder to kind of keep track of.
Yeah, it was a
everything.
lot. It was a lot to like keep track of them. It was just felt like ants going after like the same piece of cheese or something. I don't know. That's not a good analogy. And then my favorite thing, I did like to see how many versions of his life were so similar, because it talks about this endless hallway of doors.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's so cool that like, I mean, he tried like 10 different times. And we didn't talk about all of them, but it was like some pages, it was like he went to multiple multiverses in like the span of 2 pages. It was like, okay, this Daniela's a web designer, and this Daniela, blah, blah, blah. It was just, they were all very similar, but it wasn't quite it.
Right.
So I thought that was cool. It seems funny though that in almost all of them he was still a professor. So like his profession didn't really change, but her ambitions got, like, in some realities she got to be a little bit more of what she wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was kind of cool to think about, like how some slight changes can only slightly affect it, obviously.
Right.
Anyways.
Okay. And I know we talked about it earlier, how we think it was, kind of lazy, but what kind of world do you imagine they ended up in? Jason, Daniela, and Charlie.
I don't know. I mean, what is Charlie like? He likes to make art. I think that he liked that girl. I think he was pretty sad about that. So part of me was like, there's like a quest of his own here. I don't know how interested in those people he was, but I feel like it's all about Charlie. So it also didn't say how many amples they had left. So like, what if he chose a world that wasn't good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a kid, he was probably more like...
Well, I mean, if they could do it like what was happening with Amanda, they could all just think about...
something happy.
They're perfect. Yeah.
Yes.
And it would build something.
And it would build something that all of them. But
Yep.
I think that's true as well, is like, you've got to think about the fact that, yes, Charlie chose the door, but they all kind of had a hand in it. So, and the one thing I was confused about was, what about the people in that world that are already them? Like, what are they going to just like take
Gotta
up?
kill them.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I mean, obviously they're not going to kill them. That would be...
It's kind of like us, They just have to go and battle it out.
Yeah. Oh, man. Us, not you and I, but the movie Us.
The movie Us, yes. Your doppelganger.
Yeah, no, I was like, are they going to have to, like, get, like, different social security cards? Like, are they going to have to pretend? I mean, the original thems that are in that world are not going to know about them. But...
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's something beautiful because he's a kid, and I feel like maybe it's a little bit more pure. I just hope that his little angsty fear didn't, make something crazy happen. Anyways.
Nice. Well, no, that's all the questions I have. So we are
Yeah.
officially done with
Book.
Fourth Wing and Dark Matter.
Yes.
Our next book will be, which I think, have you already released it on socials?
I did post a picture.
Yeah. So our next book, I don't know if we're going to do the contest like we said, because we kind of talked about it and like, well, if somebody's just a really good guesser, it could kind of be dominated by their picks.
Wait,
so I
you
think
also had the advantage of me talking your head off about Fourth Wing when it first came out.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, if I get 3 more lucky guesses, we just have to keep reading my buddy book.
Yeah, no, we're going to do mine next.
Yeah, I think we're just going to, like, swap. So we're starting with mine. Jenni's first Stephen King book, and one that I have not read. We're doing Salem's Lot, one of his earlier books. And let's go ahead and read the back of it.
Yes.
So Ben Mears has returned to Jerusalem's Lot in hopes that exploring the history of the Marston House, an old mansion long the subject of rumor and speculation, will help him cast out his personal devils and provide inspiration for his new book. But when 2 young boys venture into the woods and only one returns alive, Mears begins to realize that something sinister is at work. In fact, his hometown is under siege from the forces of darkness, and only he, with a small group of allies, can hope to contain the evil that is growing within the borders of this small New England town.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we go. And, I mean, from the cover, it's a window coffin and people with pointy teeth. So this is definitely about vampires, which I think we already knew it was about vampires.
We did. I think I didn't realize that it was like his hometown.
Yeah, he goes back, and I think it's like his hometown's being overrun by vampires, like buying houses and probably killing the residents.
See, that's fun.
That is so much fun.
It's so much fun. No, okay, so Mears is how you say that last name?
I'm guessing, yeah. Mears.
So, big surprise.
Or
Ben
Mears.
Mears is an author. And we talked about this a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like Misery. He was an author.
Well, like a couple of his... So,
yeah, I think...
Same thing for, what's the one, The Shining? He was an author.
Well, he was writing plays, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Semantics.
No, I know. I mean, he in a lot of ways, these main characters are probably pieces of him, you know?
Yeah, which I like that. And you said it the other day, write what you know.
Yeah, he knows what authors think, so.
I know, but anyways, I think that's funny, that's kind of like a continuous trope of his. But it's different. I don't know if he has any other vampire books.
Well, and this is like, we kind of picked this one because this is like one of his top recommended. I read The Stand when I was in school. I think we should read The Stand at some point because it's an incredible, epic book.
Yes.
But it's very long. It's like 1,200 pages. It is like 12, probably even more. So we wanted one that's like not super thick, but also really good. So it was kind of between this one and I forgot what the other one was.
It was the 19 something.
Oh, 11/22/63, but
yes.
that's also like 900 pages.
Well, it's also about time travel, which I just got done with time travel, and I just wanted a little break.
But I do think you'd like that one because it's not scary and there is like a big love story in it. Apparently.
I would love to. It's massive.
Maybe we'll come back to that.
We'll come back to it. The Chattanooga Times Free Press said a novel of chilling and unspeakable evil. Ooh.
Yeah.
Can't wait for this spooky around the holidays.
You get to read a real author for once.
Excuse me. Say your apologies to my friend
You don't even
Rebecca.
know what her name is.
I do too.
You gotta look at the book.
I know her name.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to say another author, and I was like, "That's wrong, Jenny. Don't say that." Say sorry to Rebecca.
Sorry, Becca.
And Blake. I thought Blake was good. Blake Crouch.
That's true. You read The Hobbit, so you read some Tolkien as well.
Yeah.
But you didn't read it. You listened to it.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, we would love if you guys wanted to read along. We'd love to hear y'all's thoughts as well. So get yourself a copy, and we'll talk about it next time.
Yes, we should be more regular now since it's not the holidays. But we probably will take a week off at Christmas as well. But
yeah, we'll try and think ahead next time. Yeah. Anyways, Happy reading.
Yeah, talk to you next time.
Oh, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Not My Usual Read. You can also follow and listen to our podcast on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.